Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tuckered Mama podcast. I'm your host, Sammy Collins, and man, oh man, y'all, it has been a crazy busy summer. I hope y'all are enjoying your summer break with your kiddos just as much as I am. We recently started Lacey, my daughter, who's 3.5, at a preschool, and we did that from March through May, and now I have her here all summer, so we are finding things to do. So today's episode is all about our vacation we took last week. I was on break last week. I did not have an episode, so if you guys were looking for it, I'm sorry, but I totally did not have time like I thought. I literally packed everything to make an episode and did not have time to make one because I was traveling by myself with my 2 toddlers. My husband had to work, and it was a family vacation with my mom and my sisters and like 10 people deep, but it was still like majority 100% parenting solo by myself. But it was a great time, and I thought today's episode would be so fun to recap everything we did at Myrtle Beach for y'all. We went and stayed at this amazing hotel. I have all the details for you in today's episode. So let's dive right in, y'all. I just want to say, wow, like I am so impressed. We went there in September. My husband and I went there with the 2 kids last September in the fall, and it was during their off season, so the prices were super low. So keep that in mind. But Myrtle Beach was somewhere I really thought was like family friendly, so I wanted to check it out, and it totally was. So here is everything that our hotel had included. Okay, so first of all, if you go there, there are so many hotel options. Y'all, I was so overwhelmed when I was booking this originally last fall, looking at all the options, but I found the coolest, most family-friendly, kid-friendly hotel there is out there, in my opinion. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Like, going to Myrtle Beach is so much fun, and the hotel we stayed at, y'all, drum roll, is called Coral Beach Resort and Suites. The Coral Beach Resort and Suites has so many amenities. That's what really captured my eyes. It's also right on the beach. Like, you're not walking 2 blocks from a hotel across the street to a beach. You're on the beach. So that was a huge perk. We are not big beach people, but it was so nice just to like not have to pack everything, like a full day's worth of beach in your car and like lug it all to the beach. We could literally go out and walk the beach at any time because it was right there in the backyard. So that was a nice perk. Another reason why I booked that hotel. So we just literally like could walk it anytime. My kids didn't have to like set up camp anywhere. Like, we just came back to the hotel and changed if we needed to, and they got to experience the beach. So this was my son's like actual first time at the beach, because when he went in the fall, he was only like 6 or 7 months old maybe. So this time he was definitely walking. He's 17 months old now. And all of the amenities at this hotel, here's the list for you. They had an outdoor huge pool, which was awesome. It did not feel overcrowded. A lot of the reviews on this place say that it can feel overcrowded at this hotel. It was not. We went 4th of July week, and I was kind of worried about that because when we went in September, it was totally like ghost town in there. It was awesome. We had everything to ourselves. My husband and my daughter swam. It was cold in September, but the pool was open and through September. So, it was like a ghost town. And so when we got there this year, I was like, oh man, this place is going to be packed, but I honestly don't mind a crowd. Like, it doesn't bother me. So it was not, though. I would tell you, it was not nearly as packed and crowded as I thought. Like, you definitely you could catch an elevator ride, because I know that's an issue a lot of times. There's 4 elevators at this hotel, and we maybe had to pass like on 1 or 2 because they were full like during check-in and check-out time. But honestly, like, we could catch any elevator we needed. And I usually had my stroller with me for my son. So that was like not even an issue, y'all. So, on top of the outdoor pool that had plenty of space, there is also an indoor pool that was pretty large. Both were very large pools. The outdoor one was much bigger. And the outdoor one was definitely way warmer. That was the warmest pool. It was super windy the whole time we were there, and like the waves were huge. So it made all the other pools a little chilly because of the wind when you got out, but the main outdoor pool was so warm. And my daughter was like swimming by herself by the end of the week. So it was amazing. We've been in swim lessons for a long time. So to see those skills actually paying off after all this time was really nice. But also, it was like time to remove the floaties and like see if she could really do it. And she could. So on top of that, they had an indoor pool. And then they also have a water park there. The water park is like a giant splash pad playground with water. Like, I'm sure you've seen those everywhere. They call it a water park, but yes, it's like a giant splash pad with a bunch of different buckets and features like squirting out everywhere, and like a giant submarine in the middle the kids can climb into and play. So that was really fun. We had a lot of fun. We spent a lot of time over there. And then they also had the hot tub jacuzzis, several of them throughout the hotel. I want to say there was 2 inside and maybe 2, maybe even 3 outside. Don't quote me on that, but they had a lot of them. And then they had the coolest thing to me. They had a lazy river, which was really cool and nice and relaxing with the tubes, inner tubes that you could get in and float around. So that was nice. We did that once. But then the coolest thing for me and my kids, especially toddlers, was the kiddie pool. They had this tiny kiddie pool that was like, I don't know, maybe 12 feet by 12 feet. And it was only 2 feet deep. So the water was not full to the top. So it was really like maybe 18 inches or so, like a foot and a half of water. And my kids, especially my son who was walking, it was like right up to his belly. So it was perfect for him. Like, he would fall down, but he could get back up easily. Like, it was the perfect spot for us. My daughter, who's 3.5, also loved it. It was right in view of the splash pad water park. So she could hop out and go over there for a minute, and I could still see her while staying with my toddler, my son. So that was a really cool feature. We spent probably majority of our pool time at that pool. My daughter loved the lazy river, but that was a little bit more challenging for me by myself with 2. But we also have this really cool swimsuit for her that has the built-in floaties like around her stomach. So she has like 8 tubes, 4 on the front and 4 on the back, that like are floaties around her, and they can remove out and you can wash it and all the things. So that's a really cool swimsuit we have. They sell them on Amazon. Totally worth it. It keeps her like upright, but also still lets her practice swimming like on her stomach, like doggy style. So it like prevents her from going under, but it's also not like uncomfortable in the armpits because it's like a spaghetti strap, not spaghetti, but like a thick no sleeve strap, I guess. And they also have boy ones that are like just t-shirt style with like little shorts, so that it's like a onesie style. So definitely look into that if you guys are planning on going to the pool or any future water play activities. And then this hotel, so on top of all of the water stuff, they also have an arcade and a bowling alley there. So the bowling alley, I think, had up to 8 lanes, and then the arcade had several different arcade games. So that was really fun. We definitely did that one night. And then at the arcade, they also had like a snack bar, like bar food type of not restaurant, but like food bar that you could order from. I don't know what you call it, but bar food there and snack food. So we definitely ate pizza there, and we got cheeseburgers. It was really good. The fries were good, and the staff there was so friendly. Like I said, y'all, I was by myself majority of this trip, even though I was going with my family. They are all adults and teenagers, so they were on a completely different schedule than we were, and I was doing a lot of toddler stuff that they didn't really want to do, so it was a little different, but I was doing a lot of things by myself. So I'm telling you guys from my point of view, this bowling alley and arcade was so fun. My daughter bowled for the first time and loved it. They had like the kitty dinosaur neck that she could like put the ball down, and the bumpers were up, of course. And they were just really, really friendly staff. The whole staff overall of this hotel was also very friendly. So on top of that, y'all, so they've got all the pool features. They've got this arcade and bowling alley. They had a restaurant there that was called like Sea Level or something. And the restaurant was so good. The restaurant was like reasonably priced. I think it was like $15 and under per dish or whatever, but it was only breakfast. So breakfast and brunch. I think they were open every day till maybe 2, something like that. Or maybe 1, something like that. Don't hold me to that. But it was so good. We went there before we went to Ripley's Aquarium, and I'll get into that later. But the breakfast, y'all, tasted like, I don't know, like a IHOP, Waffle House, like your traditional, nothing like bougie over the top. You think, to me, when I think of restaurants at a hotel, I think of like fancy food, like something that's like too gourmet for my kids to enjoy, or myself, because I also eat like a toddler. And it was perfect. It was like your home cooked meals that you want every day at home. So we really enjoyed that. They also have a poolside bar and food and drinks available at the outdoor pool, which was nice. So you didn't have to like go back in for anything. And that again was like bar food, and that was a little different than what they had at the bowling alley. So you have lots of food options at the hotel where you don't actually have to leave, which is nice, because when you're at a hotel, you don't always want like snacks all day, or like to go out and spend a lot of money, or like with me with kids, I didn't really want to load them up and unload them. And having kids at a restaurant my age, it's a lot, y'all. Like, if you know, you know. So on top of all of this, they had an adult only lounge and bar. I actually never went to that because I had my kids with me the whole time, but that was cool. They offer that at a space just for adults to go and have dinner and lounge, and a bar area. Like if you had older siblings with you, like they could watch the younger kids, like you and your husband could totally go down there for a drink or two. And then they had a Starbucks there as well, which was so nice because I needed milk for my son and I didn't go to the grocery store and stop for any milk. So the first 2 nights we were there, I totally went to Starbucks and bought like 2 huge things of milk from them, because he still drinks milk like overnight. So that was really nice of them to give me that, but also like having that coffee every morning that was not your typical hotel coffee, which is not the best. So it was nice to have that Starbucks there, but also like on top of the Starbucks there was a cafe area next to it with tons of food. So there's lots of food options at the hotel. So that's why I love this hotel so much. It's also minutes away from everything you need. Like all of the shops, all of the restaurants, all of your like dollar store, your gift shop, your Walmart, like anything you could need, the Tanger outlets, the mall that's there, all of the attractions that you could do. Literally, I don't think I drove anywhere more than 15 or 20 minutes to get to anything. And 20 minutes was like max. I think my mom's hotel was about 17 minutes from us. And she had a great hotel too, but she's part of like a timeshare thing. So that's why she went down there. But this hotel, y'all, was totally worth it, totally reasonable. And then it's, minutes from things like we did mini golf. They have water sports and activities there. There's tons of ropes courses around with like zip lines on them. There's this thing there called the Pirate's Voyage. It's very similar to medieval times that we have here. They also have a medieval times there too. But the Pirate's Voyage is like dinner theater also. And then they also had a murder mystery event that you could do, like a murder mystery attraction you could do. So we didn't do any of those, but we definitely did the mini golf. We did the mini golf that had the 3 stories. It was like the most whatever difficult, crazy one that you could do. And my family, the teenagers, were very into that. So I pretty much camped out downstairs with the 2 toddlers. My 3-year-old went, but my sister also has a baby who's 1. She's been on my podcast before, the RV mom. That's my sister. So if you haven't listened to that episode, she lives in an RV with a 1-year-old, 1.5-year-old now, and her husband and her travel for his job. So that's a very interesting and funny episode if you want to go back and listen to that. But so she was there. So I was watching her son and my son pretty much in the lobby the whole time that had like arcade games and food and ice cream and all that. So that wasn't so bad, like waiting around, but it definitely took like an hour and a half of our time. So that was fun one day. And then so let me talk to you about like our day by day. So the first day, obviously we're like traveling all day, and we stopped halfway because it's about 6 hours from Tucker area. And it took us like 7.5 maybe, because we stopped for food, and we stop about halfway every time we go, and it's totally worth it to get out and stretch, let the kids run around. I definitely make sure that I find a um fast food restaurant that has a kids playground like Chick-fil-A or McDonald's. And the trick to finding the playgrounds that are at Chick-fil-A's, because they're not at every Chick-fil-A, is to Google Chick-fil-A's near me while you're driving. I mean, someone else should do it, or while you're stopped, or plan ahead. But Google Chick-fil-A's near me, and then when you see the closest one on your map, click on it, go under the like about section. And if you scroll down through there, there's a section that says like amenities. And when you look at the amenities, am I saying that right? Amenities. There is a section that says playground. So, and they'll have like a check, or it says like kid friendly, activities or something like that. And it'll say playground. So you can search each Chick-fil-A. I do that at home too. Like when we're just out and about in an area I don't know and we want Chick-fil-A, I'm like, okay, does this one have a playground or not? And they'll have it listed on their Google, ad thing. So definitely look at that as you're traveling for anywhere in general, but we definitely always find somewhere with a play place so they can get out and run around. And then of course the one McDonald's that I did find on the way down there did not have a playground because it was attached to a gas station. So I just assumed, oh, all McDonald's have play places. So that was a like mom amateur error that I made. And they got all of our food wrong, of course. It was like the worst one we could have stopped at. So that was not fun. My kids just ended up running around in like this big open green space that was at the gas station, which is fine. That worked for us. And I just really wanted to like get there anyways, because I was excited to be on vacation. So, which vacation, like with kids, is not really a vacation. You're just taking all of your chaos at home elsewhere. And then you're having to adapt elsewhere where you're not familiar, and it's like level 10, but still very fun. I also didn't have to like think about all the chores I have to do at home, all of the work waiting for me, and like, all of the activities that I have to get my kids to, and all of the, schools coming up and everything I need to plan for. So that was nice to like take a break from all of that. So that was day one. We kind of got there and we checked in. I unloaded by myself with two kids because my family was doing other things and did not come help. But they were like waiting to check in at their hotel. And even though I told them what time I was going to get there, it was just, anyways, it just didn't work out. That's a whole nother story. But I unloaded everything by myself, so patting myself on the back. And we got one of those little like carts, the hotel carts, that you load all your luggage on. And I had both the kids like sitting on there, and I was pushing them and unloading. And we just took our time, unloaded what we could. And then I have a big stroller, like basket at the bottom of my stroller. So that really helped us too, getting like the last bits of things. And then we met up with my family after that for dinner. So we went to Cece's Pizza, which was totally worth it. I have not been to a Cece's Pizza, y'all, in so long, since I was a kid. And it was like $14. It's buffet style. So it was like $14 for me. And I had to pay for my daughter, who's 3. And my son was free. So like, I think it's like 2 and under are free. But it was $14 for me and her to like eat as much as we want, and it was totally worth it. And they have dessert pizzas there too, so it was really cool. And then day 2, y'all, we went to the Boardwalk and the shops. So there's like this place called the Boardwalk, and it's where all of the Ripley's attractions are. So we did the Ripley's Aquarium, which is separate from the Ripley's attractions. You can buy them all together like as add-ons, but they are at different locations. They're only like 7 minutes from each other, but they are separate. So keep that in mind. But this is where all of your gift shops are, all of your touristy stuff is, tons of little restaurants and foods to eat at, but like all of your like gift shops, like touristy gift shops. When you go on vacation, there's always like somewhere that has the gift shops. This is what we did on the second day, and we did all of the shops, went in all the gift shops. It was really fun. I will say they did have like pretty different stuff in every gift shop. I mean, they had your like common Myrtle Beach, t-shirts and sweatshirts and all the things. There's gift shops everywhere in Myrtle Beach, but this is like the main strip where you can like go in 12 different shops at one time. They have the mirror maze down there. So the Ripley's Aquarium, that's what we did on the third day. So we did the boardwalk that day. And because I got the Ripley's Aquarium, I also added on attractions. My daughter loves the mirror maze. So we added on the mirror maze and the illusion lab. We did both of those. I will say, honest opinion, illusion lab, totally not worth it. Do not pay for that. Not an illusion, just a bunch of like interesting things to look at, but nothing was like, oh my gosh, this is tripping my mind out. Nothing like that. Do not pay for that. The mirror maze is really fun. They have really like club music going, and it's very like, so if your kids have sensitivities, do not do it. But my daughter, who normally doesn't like loud music, really liked it. And it's just funny because she was like doing the mirror maze and she kept bumping into the walls, and I was dying laughing at her. But then because I was laughing, she continued to do it on purpose to make me laugh. So that was fun to experience. It takes like not even 15 minutes to go through it. So we went to the end and realized we were at the end, and they were like, oh, let's see if we can do it backwards. So we did it twice technically, but they also have the Believe It or Not that's there. There's a couple of them like across the nation. So if you've ever been to a Believe It or Not, they have one of those there. That's part of one of the Ripley's additions that you can add on. And then the fourth attraction, and the Believe It or Not is like a museum, but like interesting facts. Like they have the tallest man in the world, like wax person of him, whatever, like a wax museum statue thing. So they have like the tallest man in the world. They have like just interesting weird facts there. So that's why it's called Believe It or Not. My husband really loved it when we did it in September. We did not do it this round because it was not really that toddler friendly, but it was cool for adults to like walk through, and kids could totally like enjoy looking at all the different things, but it wasn't like they can't read and understand a lot of it if they're young. So the fourth thing, so there's 4 attractions. So there's the mirror maze, the illusion lab, the Believe It or Not, and the mini golf. The mini golf is the glow in the dark, like neon mini golf, and it's really fun. It's 2 levels. You go upstairs and you make your way downstairs, I think is how it goes. We did that in September. I did not do that this time because we did the other mini golf that was the outdoor 3-story one. So those 4 attractions are right there with all of the gift shops, and that is really fun. We also ate at a restaurant there that I love to eat at every single time. I do not know the name of it, but it's right at the end of the gift shops, and it has the best corn dogs and burgers, y'all. Oh my God. Plus their milkshakes. It's so good. It's a little mom and pop, like small little restaurant with like 8 tables and like bar seating, and then like maybe 4 tables outside. So good. It's right there at the end of the shops. It's right actually across from the Ripley's Believe It or Not. So look out for that. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but we ate there in September, and I had to eat there again this time. It was so good. So day 2, when we were, I guess day 3 now. Day 3, when we were there, we ate breakfast at our hotel. My mom actually ended up spending the night with us so that we could go to the Ripley's Aquarium together, because I really wanted her to experience my kids' reactions to the aquarium, and we don't get to do many things with her. I see her like once every 6 or 5 months. So she came and did that with us, which was really nice of her. And we ate breakfast at our hotel, which, like I said, was delicious. We went to Ripley's Aquarium right when they opened at 9. That was definitely the way to do it. There was like nobody in there, and it was a weekday. And when we went in, they have 2 playgrounds inside of the Ripley's Aquarium on top of like it being an aquarium. They also have like really cool sloths there. I don't ever see sloths anywhere, and I love sloths. So That was really cute. They have several different touch tanks and touch pools. Like I said, 2 playgrounds. They have food there, like snacky food, but still food. They have this really cool boat ride you can do where it's like a glass bottom and you can see into the major big tank that they have, and all the sharks and like whales and everything. And then they also had like a mermaid uh encounter, I guess is like a word you would say for it, but like a mermaid photo op experience where you could go like sit with a mermaid, and my daughter really loved that. We did not do it, but we did go up and wave at the mermaid. And then you could feed the is it manta rays or stingrays? You could feed those. There's a feeding fee there, and I think it was like $3 or $4 maybe. And then they have a gift shop, and that's where you exit out of the aquarium. The aquarium also had a giant like tunnel, similar to the Georgia Aquarium one, where we have like the tunnel above us with the aquarium, and you could ride the moving sidewalk. They had one of those, and it was a really long moving sidewalk. I mean, that was probably like the biggest tank they had, and that was where the boat with the glass bottom was, where you could ride the boat. So that was really fun. So we did that, and then while we were there, I saw that there was like this giant shopping center, outdoor shopping center, not like a mall, but like an outdoor shopping center. So this place is called, let me make sure I say it right. Broadway at the Beach. Broadway at the Beach, y'all. Oh my God. Had so much stuff to do. There was like a whole amusement park thing going on. There were Dave and Buster's. There was like several restaurants and shops to go in. Not your like gift shops either. It was like actual like shoe stores and clothing stores and just I don't even know, like there was toy stores, there was this game store we went in, there was an arcade, there was tons of ice cream shops and desserts. There was so many things to do. Broadway at the Beach. No, yeah, Broadway at the Beach, y'all. You have to check it out in Myrtle Beach. It was so cool. I actually ended up going there on day 4 because my mom and I quickly like walked through it. We didn't really have the time to like go in all the shops. But we walked through the whole thing, and even walking through it took us like 20 minutes just to walk it. So that's how big on a scale you can imagine. And that was really fun. So we went through and did all of that, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely coming back here tomorrow because I saw something my daughter was very into, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then so we did our breakfast at our hotel, then we went to the aquarium, then we walked to the Broadway real quick just to see what they had. And then that's the same day that we also did mini golf in the afternoon, because my mom and her family did not, I mean, she was with us, but her family did not wake up until 11 or 12 o'clock because they're up all night. They're teenagers and whatever. So when they woke up, we finally went to the 3-story putt-putt mini golf, which, like I said, was fun. And then after that was when we went to my favorite thing. We went and did naps. We went and did naps for the kids, and then we did my favorite thing ever, which is amusement rides. So they have an amusement park in Myrtle Beach. The one that is at Broadway at the Beach was like a couple of rides, but this one, y'all, you will see it driving around Myrtle Beach. Totally worth going. The street view does not do it justice. It is so big. It's called Family Kingdom. Totally worth the price too. If you go within the first hour of them opening, this is also seasonal, I must mention. They do not do it in the winter time because we tried to go in September and they were not open. So keep that in mind when you go. Look up the year, the months that you're going and see if they're open. I think it's like, I don't even want to say because I don't want to be wrong, but like probably April, springtime till August or something like that. So look that up, or maybe it's only May to August. Maybe it's only summer and like late spring. Who knows? It was $30 for the first hour, and then after that, it went up to like $50. So if you go, they call it the early bird special. If you go within the first hour that they open, they are only open in the evening time. and you get the wristband ride. You can also pay individually for the rides, but it's totally worth it, like at the end of the day, just to buy the wristband for $30 and do unlimited rides. Totally worth it. Any amusement park, anywhere you go, always do that. By the time you buy the individual tickets, it's like totally way more expensive. Especially if your kids like really like one of the rides and you think that they might not and they want to do it multiple times, then you're just, spending the same amount of money. So, so Family Kingdom opens at 5 every day and they close at 11, I want to say. Don't quote me to that, but it's definitely 5 every single day because we looked that up so that we could get the early bird special. And they had tons of toddler friendly rides. I mean, my daughter probably rode, I want to say like 12 different things for her to do. And there's a list online, but I think that they had more stuff in person than they had listed online. Like, I don't know if their website, as far as the rides, are fully up to date as far as like kid stuff to do. I was kind of worried, like, oh, I'm paying $30 for my 3-year-old she was 40 inches, y'all. And every ride that she wanted to do, that was 42 inches, she was just so shy of it, like the bumper cars and a couple other like rides. She was 40 inches. She was right there. But there were a ton of rides that were 30 inches to like 36 inches. Tons of rides for that. So, and then there were some that were limited at 40 inches. So she got to do a lot of stuff. My son actually got to do like 4 things, and I didn't even buy a ticket for him because you don't have to at 2 and under. So, yeah, he got to do like the swings. He was not a fan, but there were swings that he got to do, and he actually sat for them. My sister's baby, who is 18 months old, he sat for them and loved them and did it multiple times. And then there's a train ride that goes around the park. There is like old school classic cars that the kids can pretend to drive, that, run on their own. So, and then like as far as like big kids go, my sisters who are teenagers loved it, and I of course loved them. There's tons of adult rides too, and like thrill seekers and adrenaline rushers. There was so much there. Like there's so many things to do, and just walking around, it was really pretty. There's like a giant pond in the middle, tons of fair food. I ate some, but don't really recommend that, during carnival rides. Like, eat before you go, something substantial, and don't rely on the carnival food like that's there. It was okay, but it was not my favorite fair food. I mean, I only did one little booth stand, so who knows, maybe others were better. But they also had tons of fresh lemonade throughout, and you could buy a souvenir cup and like refill it for $5. And I think the souvenir cups were 8, so you could get refills for 5. And they're huge, so that definitely kept us hydrated, and it was freshly squeezed. It was so tasty. So yeah, we did that on the 3rd day that we were there in the evening time. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. I will do that every time we go, especially my daughter who loves roller coasters. So that was fun. We literally were there at 5, and with my toddler staying up super late, we did not leave till almost 10:30. Like and there were no lines. Like you could get on any ride at any moment. Like it was worth it. Like totally worth it, y'all. Go do that. We went on a weekday. I'm not sure about weekends, but I feel like if you live there, like us for Six Flags, we don't go all the time. So like the people who live there, or like even touristy people, I don't know. It wasn't busy, so it worked out for us. The last day that we were there, y'all, I went back to Broadway at the beach because I could not resist all of those shops. I had to go in and check them out. I bought a couple things, but not really. I just really like to window shop. So I wanted to walk around and see all the things that they had. They had tons of stuff. We got ice cream. My kids and I went by myself with my kids because my family was doing other things that day. But I was like, listen, I'm not going to camp out at the beach all day. Like, that's not going to work for my toddlers. We lasted 1 hour at the beach, y'all. 1 hour. The very second day we went there, when we went to all of the gift shops in the Ripley's like attractions, we went to the beach that afternoon, and I didn't mention that, I should have, but They lasted 1 hour and did not like the sand. The waves were also huge, and it was red flag the whole time. Pretty much we were there because the wind was so strong. So, I mean, the waves were knocking me down, and I mean, I'm not that strong, but like my kids definitely could not swim in it, and my son does not like the water anyways. So, we also that night I forgot to mention that we went to Pier 14. Pier 14 is one of their like most famous restaurants there. It was pretty good, I will say. The wait was almost an hour and 15 minutes. So definitely take that into consideration when you go on the earlier side. And I will say the wait was longer for us because we were 10 deep. So if you're going like as a family of 4, I constantly kept seeing tables getting sat within 15 or 20 minutes. And like 2 tops going in, like 2 people. It was just because we had to wait for such a large group. So if you go with a large group, keep that in mind. But what's cool about this restaurant is that it's a pier. So you could go out on their pier as long as you were a guest of the restaurant. And so we hung out on the pier for like 45 minutes, and then we went into the gift shop that was right there too, and saw all the people fishing, and the kids were running around on the pier and having fun and playing. So that definitely helped. There's also like this boardwalk you could do that's by the restaurant right on the beach without actually going on the beach. So we walked that for a minute. So that was a cool restaurant to check out. Everyone enjoyed their food. I ended up packing up mine to go because my kids were screaming and going crazy because they had to wait forever. And it just was like right into bedtime, and it was the second day we were there, so there was lots of excitement. It was a lot. So I have to do that a lot. I have to pack my food to go at majority of restaurants we go to, which is why I do not eat out very often. So back to Broadway at the beach on the last day that we were there. We ended up at Paula Deen's restaurant. My daughter, when we were walking, saw this giant sign that's like had all the pictures of the food, and she's like, "Oh my God, Mom, look, it's my favorite food. Sweet potato, mac and cheese, and corn. Oh my gosh, we have to eat here." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, Paula Deen's, like, I've eaten there once before, and if you haven't been there before, it's amazing." They do not do any to-go food because everything is served family style and it's refillable. So we ended up eating there because my daughter was very interested in all of the food that they had. So it was perfect. I was so tired of eating cheeseburgers and fries by day 4. I'm like, I don't want to eat any more fried food anymore. I want like a good home cooked meal. So that was exactly what Paula Deen's is. It's home cooked Southern style food. I got the minimal order, the least amount of food that I could order, the minimal thing. Is that how you say that? Anyways, the least amount of stuff I could order was called the Albany, and it is 2 entree courses with 4 sides for $25 per adult. But it was only me, so they charged my daughter $8 because she was 3 and up. But my son got to eat for free. So for like $35, not even, like, I think it was like with taxes, it was like 30 something, 36 maybe, plus a tip, like less than $50. My daughter and I got to eat. I mean, probably less than 40. I don't know. I think it was like 42 at the end, something like that. Anyways, we got to eat pot roast with rice. Then we ordered fried chicken because she loves fried chicken. And it was 4 pieces of fried chicken, and the pot roast was huge and came with rice. It was so good, y'all. Oh my God. My mouth is watering just talking about it. Like if we had one of those here in Atlanta, I'd be eating there all the time. But so the 4 sides we ordered were the corn, the green beans. My son ate the entire bowl of green beans by himself. He loved them. And then we got a second round because they refill your bowls because it's family style. So they refilled it for us. And then so we got the corn, the green beans, the mac and cheese, and the sweet potato. Y'all, the sweet potato had so much marshmallow like cream in it. Oh my God. Literally my mouth is watering. It's so good. So that was totally worth it. And if I had brought my husband, it would have been another $25. Like it's $25 per person. And then they had other things on the menu where you could do like 3 entree courses and 6 sides. And that was like $30 per person. So it just depends like how many people you have and how much y'all want to eat. So that was what we did. And then the coolest thing that we did at the Broadway on the beach was the slime lab. The slime lab was so fun. Like there's one in Atlanta. I haven't checked out yet. Now I'm so intrigued after doing it here. Y'all, this slime lab was so fun for kids. My daughter got to make slime from scratch and add in all of her fixings and add in her color and then her charms and her sprinkle, like not sprinkles, but like confetti pieces and like what do you call it? Oh my gosh, why am I blanking? Like sparkles, all of those things. And then she got to add like a scent to it and mix it all in and like play with it. And there's several different types of slime you can get. There was like 9 different things, from like very sticky gooey slime to like a cloud. That's the one she ended up getting, this cloud material that was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like, oh, I don't know, like a sponge kind of feeling, like a wash sponge, but like slime. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was not sticky, but still gave the slime effect. So it was totally worth it and really awesome. And then after we did the slime lab, we went back to the hotel for a little leftover lunch. Or no, we did the lunch at Paula Deen's after the slime was what it was, right? Yes, because I remember having slime in my diaper bag when we were there. And then after that, we went to have a nap for my son. And then we did bowling in the arcade at the hotel on our last night. The bowling was super fun. The hotel gives you 50% off of the bowling if you go and present your ticket to them, because the bowling and the food down there is separate from the hotel. So I found that out. So in order to save you a trip on the elevator, make sure you get your coupon and go bowling beforehand. They were super kind to us. It says before 6 p.m. it's 50% off, but they were so nice to us. They did it for us. To me, I mean, I don't know about you, but hopefully you get the same experience. They took the 50% coupon even after the 6 p.m. cutoff. So that was really nice of them. So I ended up paying $7 for me and my daughter to bowl. And she got to do, like I said, the dinosaur snake, like dinosaur neck drop, kid friendly, like helper, whatever you call those things. And then the bumpers, and then we did the arcade, and then we ate there also, and they had really good food down there. So that's kind of a recap of everything we did this past week at Myrtle Beach. It was jam-packed full of stuff, y'all. And I hope that this episode was very informative for you. If you're traveling to Myrtle Beach or if you're thinking about it, it is totally, totally worth it. Like, I want that to be like an annual family trip for us at some point, or every other summer, maybe. Something like that. It was totally worth it. There were so many other things there that we did not get to experience. And as my kids get older, like the murder dinner mystery would be really fun. The Pirates Voyage dinner theater thing, that would be fun. Like more of the mini golf and the zip lines and the ropes courses, like all of that stuff, the water stuff that they had. There was jet skis you could rent and boats and parasailing, and like there was like this jet boat that you could go on for 8 minutes that was at Broadway at the beach, and it was like this person, an expert, who was driving the boat and like whips you around really fast and makes you go super fast, and it's like adrenaline rush thing. So long story short, y'all, we spent Myrtle Beach. We spent the week last week at Myrtle Beach, and it was totally fun. And I did it as a solo parent during that week, and it's totally doable. You can do it. And the drive was not that bad. We got back, and now we're like adjusting and getting back onto schedule. So still, 3 days later, 4 days later, we rushed back to do 4th of July fireworks in Tucker, but we are still like trying to get back on the right schedule. But anyways, I appreciate you guys being here as always. So I hope you enjoyed this informative Myrtle Beach recap that we did last week. And I look forward to Over the next couple of weeks, I've got some more small business spotlights to do. And then I have something very, very fun coming up, y'all, in the fall. If you live here and you're local, it is going to be the ultimate mom's night out. So be sure to follow along on social media to hear about all of that. And like I said, thank you guys so much always for being here and supporting this journey. I appreciate it. So until next time, guys, from one Tuckered Mama today to another one, I'll see you on the next episode.